She does a good job of like.
So that was something I did. Doris said that we need.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. We certainly appreciate folks being here. Let the record reflect a starting time of 3:30. We do have two members present. Councilman Brown has requested excused absence as he is out of the country. It takes us to the meeting minutes for May 22nd, 2024. Councilman Garcia.
Okay, I would make a motion to approve the minutes of Wednesday, May 22nd meeting as written.
Motion on the floor. Further discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there anyone, we are on agenda item 4, anybody here from general public that wants to speak to any of these agenda items today? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Fantastic. We're going to move on to item 5, discussion action. We're going to move B, C, and D to the bottom of the agenda, as I don't believe Mr. Tim Damon or Dustin Howard. Oh, come on.
Yeah, they're both here.
Oh, are you Dustin House? Okay, so we're not going to move any items. Fantastic. And Tim, you can get comfortable right at the table, man. Take a look at your application.
Oh, all right, yeah.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you guys?
Good to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you guys as well.
So first, let me say thank you for being, showing this committee grace. Changed meeting dates and times a number of times, so we certainly appreciate you being here. What we're looking at, Councilman Garza, is a resolution of appointment for Mr. Tim Damon as a member of the Michigan Avenue Corridor Improvement Authority Board of Directors. This one for a term to expire June 30th, 2026. Mr. Damon, what we are going to do, as always, we're going to turn the floor over to you. Can talk a little bit about your background, your interest in this particular authority. I'll open it up for questions and then we'll consider the resolution.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. When I look at that corridor, growing up in Lansing, and looking at the importance of that corridor, certainly in the current role I have now at the chamber, we go back in our history to 1905, and it shows where the Lansing Businessmen's Association at that time was responsible in helping build the first paved road connecting, Michigan Agricultural College to the city of Lansing. So you look at it, it's where our regional economy converges. It's right in that corridor. It's from higher ed at MSU to state government to the city of Lansing, connecting, to MSU now and the hundreds of small businesses, healthcare. So it all converges there. So I really do think it's the most important corridor in our region for economic growth and development. And so when I was approached about the opportunity last year, I certainly said that there was a great interest in doing that. And I think, again, kind of just personally from growing up in the city and still calling this area and the city home, and then kind of thinking about the day job as well at the chamber and the important role that we can continue to play there and seeing that, additional and further growth. So again, appreciate the opportunity, and I'm happy to, answer any other questions that you may have. So thank you.
Mr. Garza, do you have any questions?
Well, first off, I want to say thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. You definitely check a couple of my boxes, former Sexton High School graduate, and then moving on to Michigan State. So much appreciated. I know you're president and CEO of the Lansing Chamber. Appreciate all the good work you're doing there. Your office is right on Michigan Avenue. So it just makes sense for you to step into this role. So my normal question for these type of corridor improvement authorities is, would you be willing, once you get seated on this board, you start having some meetings, would you be willing to take the information that you've learned and acquired at that board and take it into some maybe the board meetings when they have meetings to share with our constituents?
I'd be happy to. And if, this is this would be the first board or commission that I'd be appointed to on this. So a lot of this would be new for me, a little bit of a learning curve, right? But I would be happy to do that for sure.
Great. Mr. Watkins, do you have anything?
Nothing from us. Like I said, we're just happy to have someone representing the chamber on the total agreement with everything going on. So also have Cleo Washington, who is a great help for the CIAs and does a lot of the work for organizing the meetings and most specifically getting projects completed.
Right. Fantastic. Great. Just a couple quick questions. I assume, I don't know who can answer this, whether it be Alex or someone else. He would be filling the vacancy left by Joseph Ruth, right? By Joseph Ruth, is that correct?
So we actually had 2 vacancies that opened up, so we
Right.
had.
I'm just looking by way of expiration on this resolution. I assume it's his.
So I'll say yes to that, but there is someone specifically coming from Sparrow. That's
Okay,
more-
yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because we have 2 resident members, correct? So we meet that first. Okay, perfect. You submitted your application on April 12th. Nothing has changed. That would affect your eligibility, right?
No.
To serve? Okay, fantastic. So you've been with the chamber for 18 years.
Have been.
You were with the MEDC before that.
Before that, MEDC from 99, 2000, so, yeah.
Well, I'm excited about this. I think you're going to be fantastic. Certainly appreciate your vision, which I've been able to talk to you a number of times on with regard to that corridor and just economic development in the region, frankly. But if there are no other questions,
All right, well, I'd make a motion to appoint Tim Damon as member of the Michigan Avenue Corridor Improvement Authority. Move his appointment on.
yes, there's a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right, so we are going to take this up on July 8th, correct? You absolutely can come if you like.
Okay.
If you are in fact there, let our office know that you plan to be there. And what we'll do is we'll make sure that we kind of bump you up on the schedule so we can get you sworn in.
Sounds good. That city council?
Pictures, that type of thing.
Meeting?
Yep, 7
Okay,
p.m.
all right.
7 p.m. Now, if you can, that's fine too.
Yeah.
You would just have to make arrangements with the clerk. They're asking us.
That should work, so.
Okay.
I will email you by the end of the week. Of your office manager on it because I'm off next week. So.
You and a lot of people. Everyone in
So
Michigan.
then we
right?
just let her know and she can let the clerk know that if you are there, they are.
Sounds good. Again, thank you for the opportunity. I'm excited about it, so. Yeah, all right, guys, all right, take care, thanks.
All right, so we, actually, Mr. Dustin Howard is the subject of both C and D. So why don't you come on up? We have 2 different resolutions. We'll take up C first. Actually, yeah, you can sit right there. But real quick, Mr. Staples, we did have a question. We were referring to the last council meeting, came in from Loretta Stanway by way of public comment. And the question was, and I believe I know the answer, but I'm going to turn it over to you. Why is he eligible to serve on 2 city boards?
That is certainly a question. I would generally probably defer and want to take back and get an answer for you from the city attorney. But I can look
I want
real
to say
quick.
it's because, and I could be wrong, I want to say that it is because both of these are not a charter or ordinance board. I believe one is statutory. So I think that's what, and I could be wrong. If you want to keep looking through that, what I'll do is we'll actually start with C and hopefully we can answer it. So in any event, we have an appointment for Mr. Dustin Howard. Certainly appreciate you being here as an at-large member of the South Martin Luther King Jr. Corridor Improvement Authority for a term to expire July 31st, 2028. Same deal as with Mr. Tim. So Eric, Damon, sorry.
Sure.
We're going to turn the floor over to you and then we'll open it up for questions.
So I work on the South Martin Luther King corridor. That's where our union hall is located at. I'm the new business manager for the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters local. I drive up and down the corridor multiple times a day, usually spending 10 to 12 hours a day on the corridor. I've attended a few of the corridor meetings, and I love what they're doing, and I want to continue that. One of the current is Price, he was the chairman. He is currently stepping down because of a new role that he is taking on, and I would like to stay on and can continue to help with the improvements of the corridor. I think it's fantastic. There's some issues that the Corridor Improvement Authority is trying to tackle, like speeding and the beautification of it all. And I'd like to see both of those get handled and see them through.
We appreciate that. Mr. Garza.
Well, like I asked Mr. Damon, first, thanks for being here and your willingness to serve. And I've seen you attend a couple of those meetings as well. Once you get feet wet, so to speak, on those boards, would you be willing to entertain coming to one of our board council meetings to share some of the great information that's happening through your board?
Happy to.
Fantastic. I asked the same question I asked Mr. David. So you actually submitted your application on April 29th, correct? Nothing's changed since then that would affect your eligibility, correct?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Mr. Watkins, do you have anything? Or Miss, I'm sorry, is it Washington? Not Washington. Washington.
So we're really thankful to have Dustin on board. First of all, he's attended a number of meetings so far this year, which we appreciate him getting a feel for the board. But in the past 3 months, the board has passed quite a few resolutions to push projects forward. So we had with the help of Thriving Community, or excuse me, with the help of MDOT, first and foremost, we're putting in 4 pedestrian crossing islands, which we're going to do beautification on. Last month's meeting, we had
Back up. I was looking at did you say when that was occurring? I knew it had been approved.
It's been approved. It will start construction June of 2025.
Yes,
Yep,
next
June-
year,
yep,
next summer.
Next summer. Also, Water and Water and Light was our last meeting. They are redoing the poles down MLK as well. So they'll be doing that June of 2025 as well. And then also we passed, or we're looking at passing street signage, which I'll let you talk about for toppers.
So you know how neighborhoods usually have street sign toppers that can identify the neighborhood. So we're trying to do that same project along all 4 corridors, helping them to brand the corridor, create a sense of identity, and show that there's work being made in the areas.
That's great. I thought there was some conversation with CATA too about the bus stops along.
Correct, yep, and that's the last thing. CATA installed the first of 4 covered bus shelters along the MLK corridor. So the first one was installed just south of Holmes in MLK. There'll be 4 more on that corridor, and they're looking to do artwork on those. So Kai Christensen has done a great job of helping us out with that. I kind of can't thank him enough for that. So he's installed 1, they're installing the next 3 here over the summertime. So with those projects pushing forward, if we didn't have Mr. Howard, we would not have quorum. So having him on board allows us to have quorum to push those projects forward. So
How many resident members do we have right now? I know we have Don, but do we have others?
no, Don Silver will be the only one. Correct.
I heard a rumor that the tax capture might have been about 100,000 more than we expected.
It went quite a bit. Yeah, we had our budget last meeting. They were expecting to receive 12,000, they actually received 121,000 to capture this year. So we have money to do projects with. So that's why pushing the street topper signs, doing the covered bus shelters and paying for murals on those shelters are important. So we should see some change in the next year on that corridor. So have
Great
Mr.
work, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's incredible. I don't have any questions. So.
Well, then I make a motion to move the resolution for the appointment of Dustin Howard at large member of the, a large member of the South Martin Luther King Corridor, Junior Corridor.
Motion on the floor. Further discussion, seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say same sign. All right, so same thing, July 8th. I will not be here. I'm gonna actually be on the road, so I'm really excited about it. So what Mr. Garza will do, if you're here, he'll just pass the gavel. And then he'll actually introduce and bring you through the process. You can be sworn in that night. You think you'll be able to make it?
I'm gonna try to.
Okay.
Thanks, kid.
Just make sure you communicate with our
Yes,
office.
I will, absolutely.
All right. Mr. Staples, do you have an answer for us?
I do not. I'm gonna have to circle back with that.
So let's do this. We'll move on D, and then we'll expect obviously an answer between committee and July 8th. All right, so this is the appointment for Mr. Dustin Howard as an at-large member of the Lansing Entertainment Public Facilities Authority Board of Commissioners for a term to expire June 30th, 2027. I see what we're doing here. We're basically putting you into the 2 positions that are being vacated by Mr. Governance. Okay, so as it pertains specifically to this authority's Board of Commissioners, talk to us a little bit.
So obviously, I've worked in Lansing 20 plus years now throughout my career as a plumber, pipe fitter. The Lansing Center, the ballpark, even as, the Silver Bells. I go to events at all of them. I attend them. I want to see them thrive. The Groesbeck Golf Course, it's a wonderful golf course. I love it. The improvements that have been made in that golf course from when I would go to it 20 years ago from what it is now is drastic. I like to see the improvements of it, and I want to show my support any way I possibly can. And if that means sitting on the board, then so be it. I'd love to do that. I'm excited to do it. I want to. The Lansing Center brings a lot of commerce to the city of Lansing, and I want to see that thrive and grow. Same with the ballpark. So, yeah, I want to like to just invest myself more in the city.
Councilman Garza.
Well, and I would like to add to that, that there's, since the creation of LEFA, there's always been a member from the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters on there. So I appreciate your willingness to step up and try to take that role on as well. But my same question, would you be willing to, once you get your feet wet on the board, would you be willing to share any of the exciting news that's coming from LEFA to our board meetings?
Yes, love to. You know, and to touch base on that, yeah, since we have a rich history with LEFA, and I want to see that continue to grow also.
I guess I have a question. Would you ever consider exploring the sale of one of the 3 properties owned and operated?
I would have to know much more information before I even thought about answering that question.
Also, you know, when you look at the things that are happening downtown, that I think enhance the viability of the convention center, I think the time is now to have some real conversations about investment, long-term investment in that convention center. I mean, there's just some small things I think we could do to make that a much more attractive place. You got, you know, as an example, the lighting outside is a problem. You know, when you drive that stretch, and you know the brightest lights along that stretch are Omar's, right?
Correct.
That's a problem. So even if, you know, when you look at vibrancy, when you look at that area, even if we could, you know, have some nighttime activation with regards to lights and, you know, signage and things like that, I think it'd be huge. But then there's issues with, you know, the fact that there's no commercial kitchen, and I mean the list goes on and on. So I'm hoping that you guys have those conversations in earnest, and then we find ways to find dollars to you know, continue to invest. I think
That would be my plan.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. We have a motion.
Yeah, I make a motion to move on the appointment of Justin Howard as an at-large member of the Lansing Entertainment Public Facilities Authority Board of Commissioners.
There's a motion on the floor for the discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Dustin, hopefully we'll see you on the 8th.
You won't see me on the 8th, but
I'm a nerd and I watch the playback. So.
thank you.
All right, yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to, Barb, why don't you come on up? We are on E, resolution to set a public hearing on a substantial amendment fiscal year 2020, 2021 annual action plan that includes home park allocation plan. Barb, you are up.
All righty. So we are requesting HUD's approval on a substantial amendment. This amendment will increase the amount of funding, the home ARP funding for the development of rental housing from $1,539,251 to $2,102,301. And this amendment will allow us to provide needed gap funding for Hillsdale Place, a new development, a 40-unit multi-family development. And this money will fund 20 units of that 40-unit development to provide permanent supportive housing to qualifying populations for the home ARP allocation plan. This amendment also adds a preference for households who are chronically homeless.
Okay, this is a line taking development.
It is.
What's the address?
1020 West Hillsdale.
Okay.
It is the old UMBC.
Oh, yeah. Right. Mr. Garza.
I don't have any questions at this time.
I'm sorry, Mr. Montry, did you have anything to add?
No.
No, I didn't.
You have no questions? Mr. Garza. All right, so I'm looking at the memo. Can you define, just a couple of things, can you define, we actually had the question yesterday, as part of our stuff. Can you define affordable?
Affordable?
Yeah.
So for the purposes of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, affordable housing is housing that is available, affordable, and attainable to people who are at or below 80% of area median
80%,
income.
is it 80%?
Right.
I thought it was 40 I thought it was 60. Okay.
It kind of depends on the funding sources.
Right, but with HUD, it's 80. Okay, perfect. And then what qualifies an individual as a home ARP qualifying population?
So there are several qualifying populations. One is homeless, one is at risk of becoming homeless. And then there is a group of people, you're really pushing on me here because.
No, and I
a
apologize.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Then there is victims of domestic violence. And then there's another subset.
I'm pulling it up.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My mind is on other things.
No, and that's,
The 4 qualifying populations are homeless. And then we have at risk of homelessness. Then we have fleeing or attempting to flee domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, stalking, or human trafficking. And then 4 is other populations. HUD defines these populations as individuals and households who do not qualify under any of the populations above, but meet one of the following criteria: other families requiring services or housing assistance to prevent homelessness.
you're pretty good.
Yeah, would seniors fall into any of those categories?
So only seniors, if they're seniors, then they meet those qualifications.
Okay.
Then, but no, there is no preference for seniors, no.
You don't have to answer this. Okay. So as I read through the memo, I thought, okay, how do we qualify somebody that's chronically homeless? How are those folks identified? How do we hold them up?
Yes.
How does that work?
So how this works is that people who are going to be utilizing this housing, everyone is going to come through the COC's buy list. The COC is the intake point. The HARA is the intake point for all of the homeless and service needing people. And so there is going to be everyone coming right from that list. Yep, exactly. And so they'll be serving the population. And like I said, this does add a preference for those households that are chronically homeless.
And so, and Mr. Staples, in our packet, we have the memo, and we also have the resolution to set the public hearing for July 22nd. Do we know where the resolution is with regard to the actual amendment that we're going to have the public hearing on?
I do not know off the top of my head. I could certainly look in Laserfish and see if I could find it.
Are you able to share that document with us at all?
Oh, absolutely. It should be on our website.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Fantastic. So what we're looking to do, Mr. Garza, is to set a public hearing on July 22nd. Would you be able to be there?
I'm sorry. I'm retiring on July 19th.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
Okay.
Dead serious.
Don't you see that glow? Like,
Yeah.
That's right.
she's ready.
Yeah, I thought you looked 10 years younger. Yeah, I always make that, whenever teachers come back, right after they retire, it's
Mhm.
okay, that
Right.
glow that you speak of.
So
Good for you.
behind me is Tyler Blakey, and he has been with the development office for about 8 months.
Okay.
And I'm sure that he'll be able to attend. And of course.
Would you be able to be there?
I'll be there.
Okay.
Do I have that same glow?
Sure. No, we appreciate it, man. Yeah, and of course, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, I need a.
Okay, well then I'll make a motion to set the public hearing for July 22nd.
All right, there is a motion on the floor. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, all those opposed, same sign. All right, well, congratulations, and we'll see you on the 22nd. Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks so much. And I think, Andy, you're here for this last piece, Act 32024, vacation on portion of Eden Road. All right,
Mr. Mark Jones.
yeah. Oh, Martin, you were hiding behind me. Good to see you, man. All right. Hey, good to see you.
Since it's public services,
Sure.
I'm Mark Timberlake.
Yeah, so we are requesting the vacation of Eaton Road south of Green Lawn as part of our CSO 034E project. We abandoned existing utilities that was located in this stub of a road and reconnected the one existing house to new utilities in Green Lawn. The only properties that front on this little stub, the 3 properties that on the east side of the road that are owned by McLaren, or I think it is still considered McLaren, but at some point they intend to consolidate those 3 properties into the larger parcel. And then there is the other house on the west side of the road that has been reconnected. They've been provided with a new driveway to their garage, so not quite complete yet, but we are in the process of finishing that construction project. So it's just a stub of a road that we don't have need for any longer, and we're just gonna requesting to take that off the books and have it revert back to the property owners.
This resolution that would allow for not only the vacation, but the DEP certification, right?
Correct. Yes.
That's 140 feet.
Yes.
All right, Councilman Garrett?
So I guess my only question was with this Act 33, and it gets placed on the homeowners, would it would be their responsibilities to maintain that road? And
Well, we're actually removing the road and providing them with a driveway to their existing garage that's kind of near the end. So we kind of removed the road-like elements and turned it into more, it'll look more like a private driveway now. So the maintenance does revert back to the property owner, and I've been in contact with her, and she's on board with.
she's okay with shoveling that much of a driveway?
Yeah, so yeah, she had been, I forgot her name, but yeah, but yeah, I'd been in contact with her, and she's on board with this.
All right. There are no other questions?
Yeah, make a motion for the vacation of the portion of Eaton Road.
All right, there's a motion on the floor for the discussion. Just real quick, Andy, did you want to talk about anything that got brought up in front of the planning commission or no?
It was basically a rubber stamp.
Okay.
Didn't have any concerns.
Perfect. All right. Motion on the floor. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. All right. I think we can handle it on there.
Yeah, or he can.
All right. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right. There's no other business before the body? And we're adjourned.
All right, awesome, thank you.
Fantastic.
Have fun on your cruise.
Appreciate you, man.
And I just heard that from Sue.